People love debating about nice versus tough managers, but that debate is often useless. What matters is kind of different axes. Can you actually ship, and can people trust you a year later? During the end of the year, we are discussing KPIs, roadmaps, promotions sometimes. The rest of the time, dust settles, and the most important question is how do you make decisions under pressure? Style is not equal to outcome. And what really matters at the end is can you deliver reliably or not? Let's dive into it. Style by itself is just a dimension. You can be nice, you can be grumpy, you can be anything in between. And that's just an axis. On the other one, you can deliver reliably, you can not be able to deliver anything, you can be anything in between. So, we have two very obvious quadrants here. Good guys who are nice and can deliver, and bad guys who are not nice and cannot. These are very obvious. Let's go into gray areas. Let's imagine we have friendly and nice guy who cannot hold on to his promises, and we have a grumpy person who not as friendly, who can even yell sometimes, he can be pushy, but at the end of the day, he delivers the product. Last guy is actually being respectful about his team's time. He gives them an opportunity to make something. First guy, despite friendly, usually that's the shortest road to burnout because despite being nice, nothing's been done, and after all, every team wants to deliver. Let's consider time perspective. We can have short term engagements, we can have longer term initiatives which are measured in years of collaboration. So, most obviously, on a short timeline, you can push through by using your charisma, your pressure, half truths, whatever works for you. In the long term relationship, trust is essential. And trust can only be achieved by being consistent, by demonstrating integrity, and by standing for your people. A brief example. You ask a person to do something for you and you can promise to promote them in the end. You probably will not be able to fulfill that promise, but promising by itself is easy. On the other hand, you can have development plan for the person. You can have your recommendations. You can have some hard proofs of their achievements, and this all will contribute to fulfillment of that promise. But it is way more expensive to achieve in the shorter time frame. What does it tell us? On a time scale, we can use different behavior depending on what are we trying to achieve and how long it has to sustain. You can think of it as of honesty being sort of pricing model. Usually, deceiving people is very simple and cheap at the moment, but nobody is gonna like you after a year. On the other hand, integrity is always pricier in the moment, in now, because you have to put something to be able to fulfill your promises. But in the long term, integrity is what brings you on the top by building trust on top of trust and by enabling more complex interactions within the team without people being concerned about the blame distribution later or promises being not fulfilled later. Now, integrity doesn't necessarily mean that we should tell everything we know from get go. This is not true. Manager's role, leader's role, is to filter the noise, is to protect the team from ambiguity, and in giving them space, they can create something. But on the other hand, key components, your key messages, your key promises, They should be respected if you want to be successful in the long run. Speaking about being nice or being consistent or being honest, these are just the tools in your tool belt. You can choose any of them, but be wary about the price. As for myself, sometimes I can trade productivity for keeping relationships healthy. Sometimes I can push harder than needed. Way too often, I was inflating buffers just in case something will go south. But the overall goal remains the same. I try to balance results in the midterm with building trust in the long term, so that after a few years of working with the team, I can reflect on what has been done and feel no shame about it. Questions you can ask yourself: do I invest more in being pleasant or in being trustworthy? Where do I keep choosing being cheap now versus being expensive later? And most important of all, what will people remember? My charming personality or my reliability in hard decisions? Where are you on this scale? Came in and let's discuss.